The dusty auction yard was loud with laughter, until a small voice silenced the crowd. A 10-year-old girl, clutching her savings, stepped forward to bid on a frail service dog no one else wanted. Whispers turned to disbelief as she raised her hand again and again. What drove a child to fight for a sick animal that others dismissed as worthless? What unfolded after that bid would shock the entire town and prove that compassion can rewrite destiny. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. A hot wind swept across the dusty auction yard, carrying the scent of hay and the sound of lively chatter. Men in worn boots leaned on wooden rails, laughing as the auctioneer's rapid chant echoed over the microphone. Rows of cages and makeshift pens lined the corral, filled with animals waiting to be sold. Among the bustling crowd stood a small figure in a faded pink shirt and scuffed sneakers. 10-year-old Emma clutched an envelope close to her chest, her brown eyes fixed on a single pen at the far end. Inside lay a frail German shepherd, ribs faintly showing, head resting weakly on his paws. While others barely glanced at the dog, Emma's heart pounded with a quiet determination no one around her yet understood. The auctioneer's booming voice kicked off the sale. Next up, lot 17, retired service dog, needs care. Who'll start at 50? Laughter rolled through the crowd. No one lifted a hand. Then Emma stepped forward, clutching her envelope so tightly the paper crinkled. 50, she said, her small voice carrying farther than expected. Heads turned in surprise. 50 from the little lady, do I hear 60? The auctioneer called, amused. A few men chuckled and raised their hands as a joke. 60, one shouted, winking at his friends. Emma's heart raced, but she didn't back down. 70, she answered, her voice stronger. The playful bidders exchanged awkward looks as the crowd grew quiet. With every counteroffer, Emma stood taller, her determination silencing laughter and drawing unexpected respect from everyone watching. As the bidding paused, the auctioneer explained why the dog stood alone. Once a certified service animal, he said, but illness forced early retirement. Needs medical care and patience. Murmurs swept through the crowd. Many shook their heads and turned away. Emma stepped closer to the pen. Through the metal bars, the German shepherd slowly lifted his head. His eyes, deep, intelligent but tired, met hers with quiet pleading. In that instant, she felt something unspoken pass between them. She imagined him guiding someone through busy streets, once strong and proud, now abandoned because he was no longer perfect. To Emma, he wasn't broken. He was a friend waiting for a second chance. Her resolve hardened. No matter the cost, she wouldn't let this faithful dog be discarded like an old tool. The auctioneer scanned the quiet crowd. 70 from the young lady, do I hear 80? A man in a dusty hat half raised his hand, then hesitated. No one else moved. 80, Emma said firmly, surprising even herself. Gasps and soft murmurs followed. She pulled the last of her crumpled bills from the envelope, fingers trembling but eyes steady. The auctioneer nodded. Going once. Going twice. Hold on, a warm voice called from behind. A kindly rancher stepped forward, pressing a folded 20 into Emma's small hand. For the dog, he said with a gentle smile. Emma's eyes widened in gratitude. 90. She declared. The gavel came down with a sharp crack. Sold to the brave young lady. Applause broke out, echoing across the corral. Emma exhaled, heart racing. She had just saved the life she refused to give up on. That evening, Emma rode home in the back seat beside her new companion. The German shepherd, now named Max, lay quietly with his head in her lap. Each gentle bump of the road made him sigh, but his tail flicked softly whenever she stroked his fur. At home, Emma prepared a blanket near her bed and set out a bowl of water. Max moved slowly, every step careful, but followed her faithfully. She spoke to him in whispers, promising he was safe. During the night, she woke to a faint whimper and found Max resting his head against her arm, eyes half closed in trust. Though he was frail, there was already a spark of hope in his gaze. Emma smiled through sleepy tears, knowing their journey had only begun and that her love might be the medicine he needed most. Over the next weeks, Emma and her mom visited the local veterinarian regularly. Dr. Harris examined Max carefully, prescribing medicine and a special diet. He's weaker than most, the vet admitted, but with patience and love, he has a chance. Emma took those words to heart. Each morning before school, she measured his food, checked his water, and gently brushed his coat. Afternoon walks grew a little longer every few days, and Max began greeting her at the door with a soft wag. By the third month, his once dull fur shone again, and his service training quietly resurfaced. He responded to simple commands and even alerted Emma when the doorbell rang. Neighbors who had doubted his recovery stopped to admire the transformation, amazed by how the sick auction dog was regaining the strength and dignity of a true service companion. One rainy Saturday morning, Emma was drawing in her room when Max suddenly stiffened. His ears shot up and a sharp, urgent bark filled the house. He rushed to the kitchen, nails clicking across the floor. Emma followed, confused, until she smelled the faint hiss of natural gas near the stove. Max pawed at the cabinet and barked again, louder this time. Her mother ran in, eyes widening as she turned the knob and quickly opened windows. "The line's leaking," she exclaimed, dialing the emergency number with shaking hands. The gas company later confirmed that a spark could have caused a deadly explosion within minutes. Max sat calmly by Emma's side as firefighters finished their checks. The very dog no one wanted had sensed danger first, proving he wasn't just recovering, he was born to protect and serve again. A week later, neighbors gathered outside Emma's home with balloons and treats to celebrate Max's heroism. The fire chief presented a bright medal shaped like a paw print, placing it gently on the dog's collar. Cameras flashed, but Max only wagged his tail and leaned closer to Emma. The local paper ran the headline, "Sick Auction Dog Becomes Neighborhood Hero." Reporters asked Emma why she had fought so hard for him. She smiled shyly and said, "Because he needed someone to believe in him like he believes in me." Her words moved everyone present. The town collected donations for Max's continued care, turning one little girl's act of kindness into a community of support. What began as a lonely bid at an auction ended as a powerful lesson. Love and second chances can transform even the most forgotten lives into extraordinary stories.